Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. Today I'm going to talk about a long discontinued fragrance, Fahrenheit Absolute. Now, Fahrenheit is the EDT, the original, is the fragrance that started my journey. The day I bought Fahrenheit EDT, all those years ago, is the day I realized that collecting fragrances will become an important part of my life. And that was like almost 3 decades ago. And I have not stopped. But Fahrenheit was the fragrance which started it for me, which opened the door. And I've touched upon this aspect many times. And it is such an amazing fragrance. And it has many flankers. Most of those flankers have been discontinued, including this one. But it shows the artistic bent that Dior used to support, and especially Fancois Demachy. So this one came out, Fahrenheit Absolute came out in 2009, and it is one of the most interesting takes on Fahrenheit, in my opinion. And the parfumer is Fancois Demachy, 2009, and this fragrance, when you smell this fragrance, or Eau Noire, those are the fragrances when you smell them. And also the Eau Sauvage, Parfum. You smell those fragrances and you realize what a genius Fancois Demachy is. And I'm going to take you through this fragrance today because it's very, very special. Long discontinued, like most of the flankers of Fahrenheit. The only two flankers that remain are, only two Fahrenheits that remain are the EDT and Les Parfums. So I'm going to do a spray on this. It's not the best spray, but it's a very thick and dense, oh beautiful, thick and dense fragrance. I've got a fantastic dry down here. What can I say? What a beautiful fragrance. When it first opens, right, you get the similarities to Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit uses a sort of a gasoline-like smell, which was a special type of adaptation to the note of violet leaf. In the later years, so I know Fahrenheit from 1997. In the later years, that gasoline smell was tamed down a bit, or toned down. And here there is no gasoline smell, or maybe a little hint of a leather jacket with the smell of gasoline. But here, the violet leaf has been replaced with violet flowers. And along with that is smokiness, almost as if you're standing next to a campfire in a beautiful floral garden. So imagine two images. Let me show you two images. One is that of a meadow with flowers and green grass, and the other one is of an erupting or lava flowing down from a volcano, something which is burning everything or charring everything in its path. It's charred, yeah, smoky and charred, and that's the smell you get here. Smoky, charred smell with violet flower and greenness and smokiness, and that smell yields into the smell of Coca-Cola, almost fizzy cola, and that's fizzy cola is the smell of myrrh, and myrrh has been expertly used in Eau Sauvage Parfum. And this, this whole depiction on the bottle is absolutely perfect. This whole charred, burnt out stuff which you see in the bottle, the two-tone design, it couldn't have been more true of the fragrance. This is absolute reflection of the nature of the fragrance. It's charred and warm at the same time. And then it is fizzy, not at the moment, but later on it becomes fizzy cola-like smell. And then that gives in to the fantastic smell of almost like tolu balsam, almost like balsamic floral amber, sour balsamic floral amber, like tolu balsam is. So myrrh and tolu balsam, not mentioned in the notes right now, but you get that floral amber. And mixed with all of that are two more notes which I do not see in the lists, and one is slight hint of cumin and the other one is leather. Leather is there, but not like you would get in an EDT. Initially you do get a bit of leather, more oud. I'm getting clear oud, present oud, and slight hint of leather with cumin. Those are two notes that are not mentioned, which join the party and give it a bit of bite. So completely foreign notes to Fahrenheit, and this is how you do a flanker. You take an extremely successful, well-loved fragrance and create a reincarnation or a new version of that smell, which is slight hint to Fahrenheit, but a fantastic creation in its own right. So that's the scent journey. It remains like that. It's a very long fragrance. It remains like that. It's ambery, floral, balsamic, smoky, oud, and mixed with Fahrenheit smell. Right? This is how it is. And it is absolute delight. Every time I put this on, I love it. So, ups and downs. This is one of the most creative fragrances, apart from the ones I mentioned, like Eau Noire. I think Eau Noire and this are the most out there kind of creative fragrance by Fancois Demachy. And I've reviewed both now. And I can tell you, this is the kind of fragrance you wear when you want to enjoy the art of perfumery. You want to tell yourself, this is what is possible in perfumery. Absolutely amazing. Second upside. This is the fragrance which has this rare niche quality in a designer bottle. I guess this is the reason it was discontinued. If Roja or somebody else like Amouage bottled this, they can easily sell this for £300 and nobody would question their judgment. It is that kind of niche. It is creative, niche. It just brings out a new dimension to an existing scent profile which nobody could have thought of. And just a tear-away success. It's absolutely stunning, fragrance and creation. Third upside. Now this is long discontinued, and crazy prices are being asked. But you can treat this as an investment in art. If you buy a piece of art which is absolutely amazing, the value is going to go up and up and up. So I got this a few years ago, maybe 6 years ago. I paid about £60 for 50 ml. So today, if I want to sell this, I can easily ask for 150 and nobody would question that. They would happily pay it. Almost a full bottle. Probably the level is here. I can easily sell it for 150. So this is an investment. If you're interested in investing in fragrances, this is an upside, because some fragrances are like art. You invest in them, you keep them with you. Once you decided you've worn it enough, you can sell it on and it will give you hefty returns. Downside. Rejection. This fragrance has great longevity, great sillage, not so great, but medium sillage, but very poor projection. You have to do this to be able to smell that fragrance. It's practically a skin scent within about 15-20 minutes. If you spray this on your fabrics, it might project a little bit, but that too is limited. Second downside is its nature. The fragrance is very dark in nature, so it has a very somber, sort of brooding quality. So if you're in a sort of uplifted mood, you would want to avoid this, and wear it on a day when you're in a serious mood, because this fragrance is something which is dark, aloof, and in control. So a boss who doesn't want to be too friendly with his staff. That's the kind of thing. It's a statement maker. You want to wear this when you want to project an image of being in control, being the boss, but also a little bit of sort of dark character. You see what I mean? So this would be an ideal fragrance for Batman. If I had to allocate a fragrance to Batman, I'd give this. But it's a really, really well-made fragrance. It's an amazing fragrance. So let's do the other bits. I've done the performance, value for money. You cannot put a number to perfection. This is perfection. Discontinued. So value for money, whatever you get it for, if you can afford it, £2 to £3 an ml, get it, because it will only keep growing in price. It's a super fragrance. Nothing like this exists. I hope the Latafas and the other Middle Eastern brands do a copy of this, because that would sell like hotcakes. Compliment factor massive. If you wear this right way, you will be appreciated. This is the fragrance of a man who wants to be appreciated rather than being loved. So this is not trying to be a favorite. This is trying to basically tell other people that this fragrance wants to be known by what it does rather than what it smells like. It's all about action. This is an action man's fragrance. So when do you wear this? What are the occasions? Whenever, as I said, whenever you want to project an image, to work you can, to a first date you can. Probably avoid that, because it has this dark, melancholic sort of a mood to it. So avoid this to a first date. Any other occasion that you think you want to smell something which is super special, creative, and slightly aloof. This is withdrawn, powerful, in control, and withdrawn, but very, very well dressed. So those are the occasions I can think of. Compliment factor, appreciated. You will be appreciated. You might also get a compliment. It smells amazing, actually. Niche quality, as I said, there's no flaw in how it's been created and how wonderful it smells. Seasons. Any season, even summer, evening time, it smells amazing. That charry, smoky smell might be a bit too much if you live in a very hot country, but here in the UK, I can easily wear this on a summer evening when I'm going out, or when I'm just going to go to a situation where I do not know most of the people, but I want to project an image of power. So easily, 4 seasons, not a problem. Summer evenings, winter anytime, spring anytime, autumn anytime. Smells amazing. When it gets warm, it starts to create a nice little scent cloud around you. Excuse me. Age groups 35-40 plus. This is again one of those fragrances you put this on when you're in control and when you want to project an image of power, and that comes with age. 35-40 plus, I would say. I think I've covered all aspects: performance, price point, smell, upsides and downsides. How many marks will I give it? See, I think this is hard to get, right? And that will lower the price point and the marks. Not the price point, but the marks. This is hard to get, very expensive, and I do not want you to go and spend crazy money on this. If you can get this for £3 an ml, so up to 150 for 50 ml, go for it. It'll not disappoint you. And bearing that thing in mind, I'm going to give it an 8. This is a masterpiece. Fragrances like this are very, very rare. If this was in production, I would have given it a 10. But bear in mind, this is out of production. I do not want you to go crazy. 8 out of 10. I hope you like this review, fellas. Take care. Bye-bye.